What's good, people? Welcome to the BV Sports Podcast. This is our weekly roundup of the fixtures, the most exciting games of the week. If you're wondering why I'm holding this mic, I said it before and I said it again. There has been a unanimous.
It's tired. It's tired. It's tired. It's tired.
Listen, it's not tired because
tired.
I'm letting it know. Let it be known. I'm joking. I'm the guy when it comes to ball in it. That's what they decided. So I've got the magic staff.
Why are you gripping it like that?
Yeah, you're going mad. You're going mad. All right, the guy who said that to the right, the guy to the right of me is it's Carlos. He wants to talk. Tell him something about yourself.
Nah, man. Like I said, just a coach here, man. Just trying to enjoy the man. You
trying to what? Anyway,
enjoy it with the man.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
Football talk.
In front of me, we got a man.
A man, not a guy. Stevie Nico.
Yeah, sweet. That was good. We're gonna start with what Emerson's been saying. Football won, so the victory of football. A team who hasn't won a cup in almost 60, 70 years has lifted the Carabao Cup. Before, I didn't think Newcastle were going to win. I can't lie to you. I thought Liverpool would deal with them, but 2 Carabao Cup finals in 3 years, lost to Man United, and they've come back and they've done the job.
Yeah. You know what's mad? Yeah, see, going into this game, I'm not sure if people can hear me, but going into this game, I said it to someone. That's when I said it to someone. I was like, actually, was a Liverpool fan. I said, this PSG result could either go 2 ways for Liverpool. Either they're gonna bounce back hard and be like, nah, like we got violated 2 legs, or is this gonna go?
Yeah.
And
I had a feeling it'd be that. Yeah. When I saw that PSG, when I was watching the PSG game and the way Liverpool, they took them to the end, right?
Yeah.
So I actually thought Newcastle have to win this now.
Yeah.
Fresh legs, fresh minds. They're not coming off a bad result like that. They're not exiting the Champions League. They're not down bad. I had Newcastle favourites for the that one, I can't lie. But, man, credit to Eddie Howe, though, because I think Eddie Howe deserves a lot of praise for that, because coming from that loss from Man United 2 seasons ago and to go against probably a better team, let's be honest, right now in Liverpool, and not just I think when he went to the United game, it was a bit more emotional. That's what it was. I think with this now, it's almost like they had their head screwed on and they used their brains in this game. Tactically, when it came to the set pieces, you saw what they done. Super, super clever when it came to Dan Burn's positioning. And not just that, even defensively, just defending from the front and man-to-man marking with these Liverpool players, knowing probably how tired they were from that PSG game. So for me, Eddie Howe deserves all the credit for that. He's the reason I think that they won that game. Credit to him, man. Big time.
I wasn't actually going to speak on that, but that's a very big point. I think the last time they went there, as you said, emotion. When you've been somewhere before, you know what to expect.
Exactly.
Especially playing against Man United and Liverpool, in terms of stature, they're massive clubs. Yeah. So I feel like they're not fazed by the stature of the club. So I feel like that was a very good point.
But also, I think the likes of Kieran Trippier being there as well. I think he was massive in that game today.
Yeah.
Like, just that know-how. Like, he's very experienced. And then on the other side, you've got Livramento, hardly any experience. The way he dealt again with another player that's dealt with Salah in the last few weeks.
Like, he's fearless. He was fearless in that game. He didn't show that.
But then I think Joelinton is key. I know Guimaraes is so talented, but Joelinton, I think he's so key in that midfield. That he just adds that iron in the middle where he just shuts everything down. That
midfield trio of Joelinton, Guimaraes and Tonali. It's such a powerhouse. They're a powerhouse in that league, in the cups, in the cup final. You saw it. Nah, they're amazing, man.
As soon as we're talking about Newcastle players who are just dominant, we've got to talk about number 14. The most, dare I say it, bar Erling Haaland, the most dangerous striker in the league.
Right now? I'd say he's probably more than Haaland.
Yeah. But obviously we know what Haaland can do. But I had to put a little disclaimer out there. I cannot lie to you, I've always liked Isak. I feel like we all like Isak. We all like players like Isak. He can play, he can score, but the occasion, to show up in the occasion is what... Was it offside, the first one?
There's one where
he was offside, but yeah.
Guimaraes was offside. He got called offside. And you see that's disheartening.
Yeah, it can
but
be.
When you know who you are and what you can do, you make something happen again. And there he was.
And the finish as well. Wow.
Yeah.
First time half, was it on the volley? And the celebration, disrespectful.
Yeah, to your boy.
Virgil.
Your boy as well.
Listen, we're not gonna disrespect Verge. We're not gonna disrespect Verge. It's cool.
Nah, we're not. But at the same time, like, jeez, that
Is it-
was disrespectful.
You know it is, yeah. We're gonna speak on Liverpool now. We're gonna speak on Slot. Are the lights too bright for Slot?
No, it's still early. Burgman's first season for him to get to a Carabao Cup final, possibly go win the Prem, do what he done in the Champions League and lose to PSG. I think it's still a good season for him. For him personally, I think it's a good season. Of course, like to come into your first season and win the Prem, not many managers can say that. He hasn't won it yet mathematically, but it looks like he's on course to do so. So I do think he should still hold his head up high. But as a Liverpool Football Club, I think they'll be quite disappointed at the fans. Because the way, like, let's go back 2 weeks ago, you probably think, okay, we got that PSG win, we're going to get to the next round, win a Carabao Cup final against a team that were better than we're points ahead of Arsenal in second. So now they're probably looking at it very anticlimactic. So, but for Slot, I think it's a good thing. I do think it's a good learning experience for him as well. At the same point, he doesn't have the experience that most managers do. Let's be honest, he doesn't. This is his first big club.
Yeah, okay, fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so it's still a process with him. So yeah,
I'm gonna ask a famous question that I've asked many a time. Is he battle tested? I'm asking now. I'm not saying yes. I'm asking someone else. I know what I think. Or in fact, has he failed the battle test? That's a better question.
ooh,
In terms of what you got to take into context, because he might still win. Well, he probably will win the Premier League.
Yes, cool. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be.
And that's a period. That's a longer period of 38 games. So
I don't want to be disingenuous and say he's not battle tested, but when you're at the club of that caliber in Liverpool, and you get to the stages, you expect W's, especially what Liverpool's been in the last 10 years. Yeah, with Salah and all these Salah, Trent, Virgil, Klopp. They've actually, fair enough, Klopp actually fell short quite a few times, some would say, innit?
he's only won the Prem once as well himself.
One Prem, one
Champions League.
one
once.
Champions League, unfair circumstances, Salah getting injured, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. But what I'll say is, I'll give him the Premier League. I'll say he's shown what he's worth in the Premier League, but there should be an air of disappointment about this Carabao Cup because it wasn't the side that we expected. And even the PSG game, over the two legs, PSG were definitely the better side.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Not to
100%.
distract from the fixture we're talking about.
100%.
So if this league was more competitive, and we know that the Premier League's been a bit shoddy, we've got a flat-footed Man City, we've got Arsenal without their better players because they haven't got Saka.
Yeah.
He's on his way back. They haven't got Odegaard firing. He's had a weird season. So it could have been a very different circumstance. I think he's gone into a fortunate situation because he's shown that he's a good coach because he's made players turn corners from attack to defense. But if it was last season or season before, he would be under the cosh more, and I think there would be a different
even though they are in the Prem.
Yeah, first in the Prem.
No, but you said he'll be under the cosh.
Yeah, I think he would be under. Yeah, he would have been in a different situation in terms of by other teams.
Oh right.
I'm saying
okay.
right now.
Yeah.
I don't see Arsenal putting him under the cosh. But
No.
if it was a more stacked or more prepped City side, because you can see something's happened to City, Rodri's out, so on and so forth. We spoke about this before.
Yeah.
It would be a different story. But I won't be disingenuous to say, nah, he's failed twice and they're out of two cups. And are they out of the FA Cup as well?
They've been out. They lost to Plymouth.
They lost to Plymouth in the FA Cup. I'm not gonna say nothing, but this is March. March is really, really crunch time. If this was a different season, what would we be saying in it?
Yeah.
But they're looking like they're gonna win the Premier League.
I think
So
what
I'm
I've
not
done to
giving
that as well, it's also, I think what's more disappointing is the fact that they have a full strength team. They don't have the injuries that Arsenal have, for example, that where they could sort of, wouldn't say like bounce back on and say, oh, we've got injuries, so we're not going to be competing the way we compete last season or the season before that. So I think if you're a Liverpool fan, yes, at the end of the season, you're probably going to celebrate the Premier League, but I still think it's something to look forward to. I think also them getting rid of I think Van Dijk possibly leaving in the season is going to be a big problem for them.
And
Salah
possibly.
leaving at the end of the season, it's going to be a big problem.
Something we've spoken about all season.
Trent probably.
I'm gonna play opposite advocate though, because he has not. Who has he bought? He hasn't bought anyone. We've spoken about this season.
Yeah.
He's a man who hasn't.
But don't you think they've already had like a ready-made squad already
Yeah.
to compete anyway in these competitions?
But that's what I was gonna say. I think
Yeah.
we're finally maybe seeing the size of the squad maybe affecting them.
Mm.
Because really, Salah, he kept Salah pretty much the whole game, didn't he? He's the only one
He did.
he only keeps him on. Everyone else he's changed on the other side, but even the midfield, that it looked kind of flat.
But Salah's that type
And you
of
got
player.
Boxer playing right back.
Even when he brought in the subs, the midfield
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
But Salah's that type of player that even though when I know I've criticised Salah in the past, but I think just he's the type of player that even if he's done nothing in the game, he'll come up with what, like an outside the boot cross or like just pop it like into the bottom bins.
Moments
or something.
player.
But
Yeah,
his
yeah.
execution was poor today as well. Like he wasn't really putting no good balls in.
No. He was shut out by Livramento. That's the thing.
They didn't lay a finger on Newcastle, to be fair.
No, I think Newcastle played it. They played that game with their heads and not with their hearts.
No, I think it was a lot of heart as well.
There was a lot of heart. Don't get me wrong, but I think they played a lot more with their heads because they, as I said, like 2 seasons ago, they went into a United game with too much emotion. And you know what? There's a country that I see that tends to go to a lot of competitions these days with a lot of emotion internationally. It's like Brazil, and they have a good team, right? Like Newcastle, they have a very good team, but they're just too emotional sometimes.
They're too focused on who Brazil are and who.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Brazil.
Okay.
So with Newcastle, I think they sort of put that to the side to an extent. Not saying they did entirely because there was some energy in that game, and you could feel it from the fans as well, which I'm sure that it riled up inside the players as well. But at the same time, like. They played, like I said, with the corner tactics, the man-to-man marking, the way that they put Dan Burn on McAllister. And I don't understand why Liverpool didn't adjust to that either.
I want to go back to, because you're talking about Newcastle's tactics, yeah? That midfield three, we were spoken about them briefly. You see Joelinton, yeah? He's not my favourite type of player. But credit where credit is due.
You need players like that.
You need players like that. He does it against big teams all the time as well.
does.
He is one of the key reasons why Arsenal struggle against Newcastle. Every single time he makes it a midfield battle. You're not gonna. His opposite number in the midfield, especially when you're playing a 3-on-3 midfield, he makes that person have. Who got man of the match?
I didn't know.
That's a tough
I
one.
think it might have been Dan Burn.
I think it was that. Yeah, it was Dan Burn. It was Dan Burn. Obviously, because he scored the goal and he played well, and he got into the England squad.
Yeah.
So
Good day for him. It's a good day for him.
Maybe Tuchel knows something we don't know clearly because he's performed.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad football player overall.
That man's always been consistent.
He's
He's
always been-
He's
yeah.
never really had a bad. I've never seen him like get completely ripped apart in a game or
We just
even-
don't view him as outstanding.
Yeah.
even a game against PSG a couple of seasons ago when he had like Mbappe on toast. You remember?
Oh yeah, he gave him.
Yeah, he
remember that.
literally had him on lock as well. So for me, yeah, I like Dan Burn a lot. I like Dan Burn.
But we're gonna move on to Arsenal versus Chelsea.
Wait, lost.
Oh, go on.
Isak.
What
he-
I said Kroenke slept 150 on him, but I think the value's going to go up more than 150 now.
You know that ship has sold, don't
Yeah,
you
it should be
think?
sold, but
You think so?
Yeah, I think there's be so many other teams going for him now. Barca's the one team I reckon that will go for him.
do you reckon he has to go abroad? Do you reckon he won't go now anywhere in England?
Listen, if Barcelona come calling, you're gonna
Go,
listen
Yeah,
for that
that's what I said,
offer.
He'll probably go Spain.
That's a good question. Where will Alexander Isak land? Let us
Do
know.
you reckon his loyalty is now firm with Newcastle? As like, I won't touch another English team.
I think his loyalty is on being the best player he can be, man. I think that's what.
He had an interview and he said that, look, I just want to achieve my dreams, innit?
Yeah. And he's won them. He's not single handedly, but he's won them a trophy already.
Yeah.
So time to move on, man.
But yeah,
We'll
I have a question though.
gone.
We need to speak about Eddie Howe because he's the first English manager
Was it
To
since
win,
Harry
yeah,
Redknapp?
Eddie Howe to.
Since Harry Redknapp.
since.
Oh, yeah, Harry
Since
Redknapp.
Harry
I
Redknapp.
said Jamie.
Was that over a decade? That's,
Yeah.
That's a big achievement.
Yeah.
For England itself, it's kind of a big achievement.
I just think it shows how overrated English
Also-
football philosophy is. But go on.
There's one guy here that's missing, Joey, right? Your team, Newcastle, after how many years?
It's almost 70 years.
70 years. Won a trophy before your club.
Bro, it's the Spurs way. It's
That's the Spurs
it's
way.
the history of Tottenham. It's the history of the Tottenham.
And Eddie Howe winning a trophy right before more recent Arteta as well. So there you go.
But you lot obsessed.
Hey,
with it.
stats.
That's another.
That's great stats.
No,
Great
but
stats.
Eddie Howe's a quality manager at the end of the day. Like would you like to see him as an England manager one day? One day, not now.
Yes, I've always thought. I think he should have got more.
He was
He's
going to
better
be,
than
yeah.
Southgate. He's
Oh, yeah,
definitely
yeah,
a better
100%,
manager than
100%.
Southgate. So
But then I don't think would he want to leave Newcastle right now as well?
No.
His project. Kind
It's a project. He's a good manager. But cool. Now we have to move on to Arsenal and Chelsea, where I don't even want to say London is red because, like, it's a bit.
I mean, the last 3 seasons we've won. We haven't really lost to no London team. Our main rivals. Home and away, by the way.
Fulham.
Rivals.
So London, it's a local rival, bro. You get on you get off at Fulham.
Exactly.
How do you get from Fulham? Stamford Brook. You know what I'm saying? Switch over Victoria.
Victoria line. To Piccadilly.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But there, bro, trust me, it's a local thing. But I can't lie to you. Enzo Maresca. Listen, Chelsea jumped the gun. They shouldn't have sacked Pochettino. Reece James is playing DM. It's utter woke nonsense.
Yeah.
He's a right back. Let him right back, bro.
I think that's a false one, like Trent going into centre mid as well.
He's what he needs to. He can play football. That's the thing about Reece James.
No, you're right. He can.
But just
he
I
can
think
ball.
just let him fly forward and be on the right hand side, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think Enzo Maresca said it a few weeks ago as well that it was.
Their away record's poor.
He's just, I don't know. Like, it's the beginning of the end. That's what it is for me when it comes to Enzo Maresca. And we've seen over the years where they've gone through managers, and Maresca is going to be another one, a number to the list as well. So yeah, so that's what I think with them.
Do you know what I'm gonna say? Yeah, and we see the wingers that played for Chelsea today,
Hey, yeah.
bro. They need to go to the dentist because they got no teeth. You see Jadon Sancho
On paper as well, man. They're actually probably got the best attacking.
Yeah,
I got a lot of tool for Sancho. But yeah, go ahead.
Jadon Sancho and Christopher Nkunku, bro. What happened to wingers who just want to cook their man? You see, we get on the world gets onto Doku a lot, yeah. Cause Doku, not enough crosses. But you see, Doku's fullback doesn't like him.
Makes it work.
The fullbacks that Nkunku
Unless
and
he's
Jadon Sancho play, I'll say Jadon Sancho because Jadon Sancho plays a lot more football than Nkunku. They like him. They want to give him a cuddle. They want to give him a cuddle because he's skillful. But as I realised, Jadon Sancho is a system player. He is very much what you call the antithesis of a system player. If you don't have a person running beyond him or running inside of him, he now has to face his man. He's got the feet to get by him, but he hasn't got that burst of pace, especially in the Premier League, to send it beyond him and create something. And I think that is what you call a system player. Someone who needs certain things to benefit them irrespective of their ability. Because you get with Bukayo Saka, you can leave him isolated. They're going to have to double him up.
Yeah.
You can't leave him 1v1. He ticks every box a winger needs. Sancho, genuinely...
They could leave him by himself. They don't even need to get
bro, Miles Skelly is 18.
Yeah.
Probably watching Sancho thinking, this guy's the first guy to go abroad. And it's crazy.
Yeah. I think for Sancho for many seasons now.
I like Sancho as well, man. But it's just... Yeah.
But what do you like about him? Like,
I think I was just seeing him what he did at Dortmund. Like,
but
he was
that's
so
in
confident.
Germany
he was
with
playing Champions
Dortmund.
League. Like, he was doing things against Barcelona. He was scoring goals against Barcelona, like against the big teams. Even last season.
But there's many players that will score against Barcelona. It doesn't mean they're good.
Sancho was one of the hottest commodities in world football.
It was him
at
and Haaland.
Borussia Dortmund. He wasn't getting compared to Messi.
Yeah.
But he had stat lines, but it was only him and Messi.
I remember Neymar like giving him compliments as well, like a couple
exactly.
seasons ago, saying that he really likes the way Sancho plays. But you can't. There needs to be something more. You need to be like you're saying. There needs to be effectiveness to your product
They
as
just
well.
showed as well, like without Palmer, them, like I said, toothless.
But literally, that's what I was gonna go to.
Do you remind me? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say,
You're
literally.
going land.
No, I'm saying Sancho reminds me like a freestyle football player. Like
What, free roam?
yeah, like they're nice to see on the eye. They got the tech, they got the skills, they've got the drop the shoulder, whatnot. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the dues, they don't.
I was gonna say, this is the thing about Chelsea, and I said it before. They might be too old school, or they're just too ineffective without Palmer. First of all, Palmer wasn't on the pitch today, point blank period. But if Palmer isn't showing up and showing out, they become almost a nothing team. They don't have enough. Cool, you get Nicholas Jackson when he's fit, turning, so on and so forth. But he doesn't put the ball in the back of the net enough. So now you start questioning and looking for answers elsewhere, and you genuinely can't find answers beyond Cole Palmer being a starlet and just taking it to another level, being a maverick.
What's funny is that you expect the team that Chelsea have built up for the past couple of transfer windows to be a team that should be okay without Palmer and Jackson. That's just 2 players.
If you think about it, even though they spent a lot of money, they haven't really bought anyone that's really going to be going to that first team apart from Casado.
And Kunku, what do you mean?
And Kunku should be in the first team. João Felix should be in the first team.
João Felix,
He's
yeah.
gone.
He's on loan.
Yeah.
Why is he on loan? You've bought. They might not even buy Sancho.
Yeah.
They've bought players.
Did you hear that rumor about? I'm not sure it's a rumor, but
It's not a rumor.
that they want to back out of the Jadon Sancho
obligation
deal.
to buy.
Yeah,
That's
they want him to go back. They don't want him anymore. They want him to go back to Man United. And Man United said like, no, we don't want him either.
But let's speak on Arsenal because we've spoken on
Freedom.
how bad Chelsea were. Was Arsenal good today or were Chelsea just bad?
I think it was just we had no strikers. Like I said, there was no attack, but I think we just held them. They didn't really trouble us. Like we weren't threatened by them. It was 1-0, took it, and that's it, man. The game wasn't really exciting.
Okay.
It wasn't exciting. Like Odegaard, I don't think. Apart from that PSV game, again, he went kind of back to his old self throughout the season. No, I would expect him to stand out
And take over the game.
Yeah, but he didn't really take over. And then took another set piece for us to score a goal.
In the Premier League, I think this. I think this was a big result for you because if Chelsea had gone and won that game, they would have been 3 points behind
Not
you.
even that. Forest, 1 point behind us.
Yeah, exactly. You would have been sucked into a top 4 battle pretty much because City are still there lurking in the shadows in a way. So it was. I don't think people realize the importance of this result as well. It's a very important result for Arsenal because, like I said, if it goes the other way, they're batting for the top 4. Forest behind them, Chelsea, Man City, etc. Now how many points you have? 4, right? Ahead of Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
also, I think we need this win because now we're going to the international break, and apparently Saka's coming back after the break.
yeah,
also.
I think it's a good. I
Yeah,
think
he
it's.
will.
And do you see Liverpool dropping? Even their form,
I think they might drop, but I think they've given themselves that leeway where
they can
they
afford.
can afford to drop, and it'll still be a bit too late for us to come back.
You touched on City. We're going to speak about City quickly because they drew. And it's not looking like... at some point, we was kind of banking on them bringing back the title race.
Yeah.
Now they're definitely in a top 4 race. And they had a touch of bad luck yesterday with Kushanov's own goal. And, but what are we looking at with City? Like, Brighton are giving them a game all the time. Even though Brighton are a bit of a bogey team, they do give them a hard, tough time.
They do.
Like, apart from Marmoush, it's not looking good for City. That's the honest truth.
Yeah, right.
And he's cold though. That Marmoush brother, he's something to like.
Do you know this is because, like we said, that City squad is not the same. Where you said City squad that's used to winning the ball high up the pitch, quickly winning it back. Like their reactions to winning the ball back is just slow, man. Like again, I think it's just the legs. They need a major revamp.
Yeah.
I think
Do you think it's next season that they've got it?
I think they need to be careful in case because the top 4 race is very close. I know there's a 5th spot available now for Champions League, but they need to be very careful. There's not the teams that are around City right now for that top 4 spot or top 5 spot, I should say, is interesting because you got Forest pretty much going to seal top 3 with Arsenal. So there's only 2 spots. You got Chelsea. The thing with Chelsea, I think the teams around City could probably benefit them in a way.
You got to remember, most of the teams around them were in cups or still in cups.
Yeah, exactly.
Arsenal have obviously won that. You never know how they're going to react.
Bournemouth just lost to Brentford
Bournemouth
as well.
Too far away now. I think.
Bournemouth, so they've sort of fallen off. So that's sort of given them a bit of a chance. The one I'd like to see is Newcastle. I'd like to see them get Champions League. It'd be very interesting to see. I do think they'll get that last spot as well. But City, like you said, man, they need legs. They need legs big time because that team is tired.
They don't press the same way they.
That team's tired.
Pressing.
I think we're gonna have to go with we'll have to really, really see with next season where City are gonna head. Because even the games that they play, it's just not cultivating anymore. Like I don't enjoy. There was enjoying City when Pep came. It was enjoying Man City play and watching them play. Then it was. I didn't necessarily enjoy it, but I knew they were gonna win. And now
like
it's
a robot
just
system, yeah.
I don't even know what I'm watching. I'm just watching for individual players to have a spark, and fortunately they have Marmoush who makes their games exciting overall.
Yeah, see it down, man. There was one player I was thinking about. I think letting Julian Alvarez go was a big mistake.
They've
Such a mistake.
I think there's a a couple errors Pep and the technical team have made. We spoke about before, letting Palmer go, Julian Alvarez letting him go, making Rico Lewis the only graduate they have.
Yeah.
It almost looks like you got it wrong on so many levels. But we've kind of gone in circles.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about our glorious team, Manchester United, because
Hey.
we won today. We won 3-0.
Shout out Rude for giving man that 3 points, man.
You know, Ruud's been generous to United, you
Rude's
know.
been generous.
He's given us wins this season.
man,
Like
have that,
good
Man,
wins. I'm not
man.
talking about 1-0s or like lucky 2-1s. He's been giving us like
Does I watched him on the bench. He looked angry. We got Leicester's number.
and we got Leicester number.
On
100%.
a sad note, Aiden Heaven playing very good football over the Europa League, but obviously even in this game he was good, so comfortable on the ball. Unfortunately, he's got injured. But I think this game was I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just genuinely saw us play good, and it put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
I thought that we were comfortable on the ball, even with the injury. We had Mazraoui slot into the fullback position, the third centre back position. Like we were able to progress the ball. Bruno, for some reason, has decided to actually be good at football again. But you know what I'm saying? He's certain man's player. He's not certain man's player.
Yeah.
Hojlund on the score sheet after 22 hours of football. That's mental.
Do you think it's a service? He's not getting it though. He wasn't really
He
getting
can't.
it.
Hojlund's problem is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, production. There was a cross Mazraoui gave him. Mazraoui was playing out wide. His IQ isn't there. He doesn't do things that cut across defenders or like little things where easier said than done. I'm on the couch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the Premier League, but
I hear it.
you know when we watch Cavani, you see if Cavani had
His movement was top.
if a Cavani had the opposition defender's number in front of his eyes, you could see the fear of the defender. And he would just pick, I'm going to go in front of you, I'm going to go behind you. You could see, he might not score the chance because Cavani's a volume guy.
Yeah.
You could just see with Hojlund that even the goal he scored, the first touch, it seemed like he was gone. But because Leicester was so bad and they didn't close enough quick enough, it was a good finish.
But do you think it's a confidence thing as well? I know confidence can go a long way in football, especially for strikers.
Yeah.
More than strikers than anyone else, and goalies. Those two probably. But I do think we need to bring in a new striker in the
100%.
summer because Hojlund, I don't like the fact that he was bought for how much? Like
75 mil.
75 million. He was 20 years old when he came. 20 years old when he came in, having that weight of being the number 9 striker for Man United. It's a heavy backpack to carry. You know
It's a
that.
big
Do you
back.
think
So-
they'll give Cheeto a chance? in
He's
summer?
getting the chance.
He's getting
No, but
chances.
like summer, like I feel like he hasn't been used enough. I think he should have been starting. At least get a start.
But you see, the problem is, do we want to bank on two
No, I
strikers
know, I
with
know.
no experience? Well, Cheetah looks different, innit?
Because every time he's come on, he's
Yeah.
He's looked different.
that's what I'm saying.
He looks smarter. He looks smarter than Hojlund,
he
but he
looks-
knows where to go.
He looks smarter than Hojlund.
He doesn't have the end product just yet, but he's young. Like he's gonna get that. I think as a striker. I think the good thing about United today when I watched it is that there was moments where I saw patterns of play, and I
Yeah.
think that's what Man United have been missing for the past since Ruben Amorim's come in. He's spoken about these patterns of play. He's spoken about having the width, which
Yeah.
we've saw and we've seen about having the two cams and whatnot. He wants to to talk about news, and what I've seen the past 2-3 games, I've been impressed by that. Like he's actually has. You've seen the patterns of play. Of course, it's too early.
Yeah,
It was early against Real Sociedad at home. It was against Leicester away. So I'm not going to say that with Wolves and World beaters and that's he's got all clicked in now. But it's looking better, what I would say, and it'd be interesting to see how the summer goes for Ruben Amorim. I think he needs to bring.
Do you know how I want to speak on who when we criticize players, we need to give them a level of admiration when they play good. Garnacho played good today.
Yeah.
Go on, speak on it.
No, because I think because it's such an open game, it allowed you lot to actually play. Like in the sense where like Garnacho, I think like Garnacho, he's more like a counter-attacking player, like quick breaks he can get beyond. But I think if it's a team playing like a low block, I think you lot find it hard like to get those patterns of play to actually break teams down, and you get frustrated and it's very flat. I
Yeah.
think when there's teams like very open, like you saw how Hojlund's goal,
I think
where he
Ru-
got in behind kind of.
I think with Ruben Amorim's like way of playing it, when I saw it at Lisbon, is that they made it that way though. They made it a full throttle game. Like even if you wanted to sit back, he sort of gives you the space in a way. But that's what they want you to do, and sort of like and then counter react to that as well. So that's what I really liked about Seeing it today, yeah.
What I'll say about Garnacho's game today, I don't think it's because it's partially because it was open.
Yeah.
Because you need space. He's a high energy player. He needs to run into position and space. I'll say it's because he's playing on the right, and I've been campaigning for Garnacho to be playing on the right, because on the left he gets confused and he gets one track minded. He's so fixated on the fact that shoot glory, and it's because he's young, and it's because it's just do you know what it is? Not even to derail from my point. I think to be a good winger, you should be able to play both sides of wing. You're doing the same job. You're beating your man, you're finding space in behind, you're finding space in between, and the manager's instructions are going to be able to be applicable on either side. Yeah, cool, you might be more favoured on your right foot to cut in and shoot. It causes a higher chance of scoring. But you should be able to apply your ability and your logic on both sides of the thing. And I think when he plays on the right-hand side, he applies his actual football IQ far better than on the left, because he becomes a selfish player. And I don't think that's in terms of, I want to score, because he's goal hungry and he has confidence. I think it's a matter of he doesn't have the know-how to navigate a new way of playing in that position. So,
Garnacho's been good.
But yeah, Garnacho, hats off to you. I'm looking forward to a bit more from you. We're going to talk about Tottenham. Losing 2-0.
Super
embarrassing.
I think Ange is done.
He's
that's
fried.
it. Yeah, I think that's.
He's not going to be for the next European game.
Sorry, say again.
You reckon they're not going to keep him throughout let him go?
Oh no, I don't. I'm not saying
he can in that European campaign.
I'm not saying they'll let him go right now. I don't see them winning Europa League, to be honest with you. I think Europa League seems a bit of a stretch for them. Just even like watching the highlights. I know watching highlights is a different thing, but to get that sort of struggle against AZ Alkmaar as well. There's tougher teams in that competition, I think.
Leon,
yeah. Bilbao's a tough team as well.
Yeah.
They're fourth in the Liga, so they're a good side to watch out for. But yeah, I think Spurs, Ange needs to go on by summer.
Sorry to cut you off. Like, comment, subscribe. We see you lot watching. We don't see you guys liking and commenting enough. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm so I forgot.
Yeah, make sure you share it to your family members and friends as well.
That too.
And your dogs. So yeah. But Spurs, I think Ange's done.
He's cooked.
Salt in the wind as well. Sessignon coming and scored.
That's crazy.
It's a here we are again with Spurs, isn't it? That's what it is.
I don't expect much from Ange. I think he's predictable. I think unfortunately they've had injuries. I think some of the injuries are down to his style of play. He's a master. He's an architect of his own demise. And if they want to advance with his project, we will see Tottenham regress heavily from where they've been in the last decade, because they don't have the star power of Harry Kane and
peak Son.
Son.
Yeah,
Bear in
Son's
mind,
not the
they
same
also
guy.
had bad boy players alongside them. They had the best. They had the top 3 centre back partnership at that time with Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and they had Wanyama and Dembele. It's not looking like they've got that caliber of player anymore.
Right.
So I'm kind of sold on what Tottenham is and who they are for now. I don't see them returning into the top 5, top 6 battle anytime soon.
I don't really see them anything anytime soon. It's just I've not seen Tottenham do it, so I don't expect them to do it. I've seen clubs like Arsenal, I've seen Chelsea, I've seen even when Man United were in bad spots. Leicester have won things. Newcastle won today things.
Why can't they win a trophy?
I don't know. I think that the fact that they haven't won a trophy, it just lingers above them, the team and the players. Every time they get close to going somewhere, whether it's a semi-final, whether it's a final in Champions League, whether it's the semis, whether it's the quarters, or whether it's in the league where they almost compete and they feel like they're going to compete for something.
I'm sorry to cut you off. This is the age-old question. We're gonna go around, so I'm gonna cut you off there. I'm sorry, because we'll be here for the whole day. We'll have a whole essay as to why Tottenham are the most unwinningest team in top 6.
As a club, they're actually well run financially.
Yeah.
And it's mad that they can't actually reinvest that money back into the actual squad.
And they've brought in players that fit as Ange's system.
We're gonna go see. We're gonna go back into.
But yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna end the show there. My name's DB, the man with the mic, the man with the knowledge, the man with the. Shush me. Sorry, I don't know. I'm getting carried away. In front of me,
No one's arguing with you, bro. TV Nico, one and only.
Was it right with me?
Carlos.
Like, comment, subscribe. This has been the Bench G Sports Podcast.